friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today is a very exciting day. Today is vlog day. I went recently to the grand opening of the Lost Cauldron, which of course is Cherry Wallis's new shop. Oh my god, it was gorgeous, but we'll get into all that. Obviously Cherry has opened this shop with her partner Leslie, and I decided to go along for the day. We actually ended up going for the weekend to go and see it. And of course I bought myself some goodies while I was there, because how can you not? So yeah, if you are interested in hearing all about the weekend and seeing what goodies I picked up from the Lost Cauldron, then do carry on watching. Don't forget, if you are new and you haven't done already, to please hit the subscribe button to become part of my little magical community, and to notification bells on as well to be notified every time I upload a video. And you can always go and check me out on my social media. Okay, so like I said, I recently went to the grand opening of Cherry Wallis's The Lost Cauldron. This is my bag of goodies. There's quite a few bits and bobs in there, but before we get to that, let me just tell you a little bit about the weekend. So yeah, like I said, I went along with my husband, Anthony, to, I think it's in part of Derbyshire, Matlock in Derbyshire, I think. Yeah, to spend the weekend. I thought it'd be nice to make a bit of a weekend about it. We left the kids with my parents so we could go along and really enjoy the weekend. So we drove down on the Friday. Yes, it was the Friday. Yes, we drove down on the Friday. I think it took us about 4 hours to get there. It should have been about three and a half, but we did hit a little bit of traffic here and there. And we also did stop off at a services because neither myself nor my husband actually eaten all day at this point, and we were driving. This is probably about 2 o'clock that we decided to stop and get something to eat because we were both absolutely starving. So we stopped at the services, we had a quick wee, we had some little snacks and things like that, and then obviously then we continued our journey. We got to our hotel and it was absolutely lovely, like really nice hotel, really friendly staff, really nice. And then there was a Friday night, then we decided that we would take a quick drive around to where the shop is, just so we knew exactly where we were going, that we knew where it was. We were going to scope out the best parking space to make sure that we were able to get to the shop in like plenty of time. And we were also trying to like gauge whether or not people had already started like queuing or not, because we weren't sure. At that point, no one had started queuing, but apparently they started queuing very early hours of like the next morning. So yeah, we decided to kind of case the place out a little bit, figure out what we were doing. So yeah, we did drive around to the Lost Cauldron. We found it fairly quickly, which was really nice. And then we did go around there and just double check where the parking situations would be, how best would it be to park. And then we did take a little scenic route drive around the town, because it was really picturesque and pretty down there. I think it's a really lovely little town. There's quite a lot of like old features there that you can see. It's really nice to have like a little nosy around. And I didn't know this until I got there, but Honeydukes is in the same town. I didn't know that until I literally got there, and then I was like, oh my god, obsessed, I have to also visit Honeydukes whilst I'm here. So I did also visit Honeydukes, so we'll get into that as well in a minute. Yeah, then obviously the morning of the grand opening, we obviously had to get ourselves up and ready. So yeah, I wanted to try and get there for about 8:30. I thought that might have been a good time. I wasn't sure what the kind of queue situation would be, but I thought maybe people would start queuing around that time. So I wanted to sort of try and get as close to the front of the queue as possible without being like silly early and looking a bit foolish. But I didn't know what the situation was going to be, so we were doing our best. So we got up and started to get dressed, and we didn't actually leave the hotel until around, I think it was about 8:45, and I was really annoyed and frustrated at ourselves because we got up early, we had showers, we got dressed, we kind of like, I did all my hair and makeup and things like that, and it just felt like time was going like straight away. So we were like, oh, this is really annoying, but let's get to the shop. When we drove past, we had to drive past the Lost Cauldron to go to where the parking space was. When we drove past, oh my days, the queue was already there. It was already rife. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is going to be a crazy hectic day. So it's going to be a really long day. Let's just get to the shop. So we parked the car. We had to walk, I think about roughly 10 minutes or so, probably a little bit less than that, to the Lost Cauldron. And the queue had grown when we got there, but it hadn't grown too considerably. So it wasn't so bad. We were still... I think we went around the corner of the street, and then we were probably about maybe a third up the street, which doesn't sound like very far. And really speaking, it wasn't far, but there were lots of people in this queue. It wasn't just like one person standing behind the next. There was like packs of people in the queues. Obviously, everyone that had come together and stuff. So it still took us a while to get to the front of the queue. But the queue in itself wasn't actually that bad. We were there probably about 3 hours after the shop opened. I think it took us about 3 hours to get to the front and actually get into the shop. But yeah, it didn't actually feel like it went that bad. It wasn't that long. We ended up chatting to, there was a really lovely mother and daughter just in the queue behind us, and they were really lovely and friendly, so we ended up chatting to them for quite a lot of it. We had a few little laughs and stuff. It was really nice. There were staff coming out of the Lost Cauldron to like greet people and talk to people. At one point there was like a photographer taking photos of people, and obviously the humongous queue, because when me and my husband looked back, I think it was just after the shop had opened and people were just starting to go in, we looked at the top of the street and the queue went right up the top end of the street. So it was crazy, and there was people that were still arriving looking at the queue and going, oh my god, like this is crazy. And even one or two people ended up turning away and going, you know what, we'll come back another day, this is crazy. So yeah, it was a mental day. But yeah, like I said, there were photographers there were staff coming out and saying hello to people. We also saw a drone go up, which I think was part of Cherry's team. I think they were filming different parts of the day and stuff. So there was a drone that went up at one point and everyone was going like crazy, like waving like furiously at this drone, which was really funny. Yeah, like I said, it didn't go that bad. It wasn't like the day dragged. It wasn't as if it was in the queue going, oh my gosh. Although my knees really did hurt. Like after 3 hours of standing like pretty much still, obviously moving every so often, but standing pretty much still for 3 hours really kills your knees, especially when you are old like me. Never mind. But yeah, it was a pleasant enough experience. And literally right next door to Cherry shop was a chip shop, and I could just smell the chip shop as we were getting closer and closer to the shop. I could just smell the chips. I was like, oh heaven. But we resisted because we wanted to go in and make sure that we did the Lost Cauldron, not the chip shop. So yeah, we avoided temptation. Then of course we got to the front of the queue and we were incredibly eager to get in at this point. It was really cold outside as well, so we were like, okay, we can feel the warmth of the shop. We're really excited to get in and have a really good nosy around, and yeah, it was just really exciting. So then they actually let us in and we went in, and the first thing I did was make a beeline for the candles, because I remember Cherry talking about all the candle domes and how like you can smell the scents from like the dome. So I was like, I'm giving that a try. I wanted to do it, so I went over and I started smelling all the different candles. They were all glorious, might I add. There was like one or two that I was like, not so much a fan of that one, but they weren't bad, but it just wasn't necessarily like my taste of smells, if that makes sense. But yeah, so yeah, the candles were gorgeous. And then I bumped into Leslie, who was actually really shocked, like knew who I was. I was like, oh, okay, hi. I was like really shocked. Because I wasn't expecting that at all. I really wasn't. It was quite a bizarre thing. Then he sort of like looked at me and went, oh, hello. So I was like, oh, hi, are you okay? So we had like a nice little chat. I was telling him how cool the shop was, because it was absolutely glorious in fairness. And I could see that Cherry was over by where the till was, and bless her, she was stood there pretty much the entire day from what I could gather anyway. And just customer after customer after customer chatting to her, taking photos with her, just so much stuff. So I bless her heart, she must have been absolutely exhausted by the end of the day. But yeah, every now and again she'd like wander around going, okay, someone needs this, someone needs that, so she'd go off and like grab things, but primarily she was stood by the till talking to people and taking photos with people and things like that. So I had a really good nosy around the shop, and generally I think like it was so crazy of a day because obviously there's a lot of people around. I was trying to be conscious of other people because I knew I'd spent already a long time in the queue. I knew that people outside were obviously waiting to come in once it was a bit clearer in the shop. So I didn't want to spend like a crazy amount of time in the shop, but at the same time I wanted my turn and my time in the shop as well. So I was trying to look at everything that I possibly could, but again, lots of people around. You can't always get exactly where you want it to be on this day in particular. So it was a little bit tricky here and there. But yeah, I had a really good nosy around. And just when I thought I had seen everything, something new would catch my eye. Something would be behind something else. And I'd be like, oh my God, there's like these here too. Like, this is crazy. There was so much on those shelves, so many different things to see, so many different like magical themes. Like there's a whole like section dedicated to like mushroom things, which I know Cherry's obsessed with. There were notebooks, there were pin badges, there was jewelry, there was just crazy. Oh, there was books, bags, and like there was lots of plushies and like a massive chest as well. It was just crazy. The amount of things that were in that shop was just unreal. And when it wasn't necessarily an item for sale, but there was always something to see. Like those shelves weren't just like decorated with just pure product. There was a lot of dressing up the shop as well. There were lots of things to see on like the tops of the shelves. There was a lot of like greenery and things that to like dress up the shelves a little bit more. So it wasn't just bare shelves with just product. There was so much character to every single inch of that shop. Not one part of that shop was like left untouched by something. There was always something to see. And if you looked all around the sort of tops of the shelves, there were so many different like artifacts, potions, creatures, suitcases. There were antiques, like all sorts of bits and bobs to make it look really magical, like really dressed up the shop. It was just glorious. And that ceiling, oh my days, it's beautiful, like crazy gorgeous. And the fact that Cherry had to like hand paint like most of that, wow, like the dedication she had for that ceiling was crazy. It was beautiful, so gorgeous. They also had like a little guest book sign thing, so I ended up signing my name on that as well, which I thought was a really lovely little touch. Like Cherry can probably look back on that in the years to come and see who were the first people were there to actually see the shop and all those kind of things as well. So I think that'll be something that's really lovely for her to look back on maybe this time next year when the shop's been open for a full year, just to kind of see the growth of it and see how many people have visited and things like that. I think that's a really lovely thing. Of course, then, like I said, I did pick up myself some goodies, so I will show you those in just a moment. I promise I won't keep you waiting too much longer to see what I bought. But of course, then I got to the front of the till and met the lady herself, Cherry Wallis. She was so lovely. I could tell she was exhausted, mind. She had such a glow about her, but you could just see like she was just very overwhelmed. And I can imagine that and even more, to be honest. I think if I was in that kind of situation, I can just imagine how overwhelming and how crazy that day must have been for her particularly, because like I said, you know, people were constantly coming up to her asking for photos, talking to her and things like that. I don't even want to guess how many people had gone into the shop ahead of me and how many people she had spoken to up until this point. It must have been fully fledged within the hundreds, so it must be exhausting. Amazing and magical, but exhausting, you know what I mean? So yeah, we did have a lovely little chat. She complimented my backpack, which was really nice. Leslie asked me about my YouTube channel, which again, I was really shocked. I was like, oh my God, you know I have a YouTube channel. This is all crazy to me. And Cherry was like, oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, and then she gave me my pin because obviously the first 500 people to go to the shop got an exclusive Lost Cauldron pin. So she gave me my pin. And yeah, I also met Rachel as well, which is Cherry's best friend. She's really lovely as well, really friendly, really chatty. Yeah, all the staff, to be fair, because there was obviously other staff members that were wandering around and were helping customers as well. And they were all really friendly and really chatty. So overall, it was just a really lovely, positive experience. And of course, then I got my photo with Cherry because I had to have that done. I do now wish that I'd also got one with Leslie, because I didn't even think in the moment. I think because, like I said, the craziness of the shop and the day, I didn't even think on that moment that I should have got a picture with Leslie, because like I said, he did recognise me. He talked to me a little bit as well. He was really chatty and friendly. And yeah, now, well, I think it was like an hour or so after we'd left and we'd kind of gone for food and stuff, I was like, I didn't get a photo with Leslie. That's really silly. I probably should have got a photo with him too. So I am very sad about that, I won't lie. So Leslie, if you do happen to watch this, I am very sorry I didn't ask for a photo with you, and I will definitely return and visit, and hopefully if you're there I will get a photo with you at that point as well, because I think that was a really silly mistake on my behalf. But yeah, I got the goodies. I spent a smidgen more than I had kind of budgeted for. I took a certain amount of money with me to spend. I knew I wanted to spend like a fair amount, but I wasn't sure how much particularly I was going to spend. But I did go a smidge over budget. But I'm so glad I did, because the things that I bought were just glorious. And yeah, I'm really chuffed. And I cannot wait actually to show you guys, because everything is still living in this bag nearly 3 weeks later. And I want to get it out now and play with it and display it and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I need to actually like do this video now. But yeah, it's been safely tucked in here. And I'm so excited. But very quick, I know I keep teasing you guys, I'm so sorry. I just realised I haven't told you all about like the aftermath of the Lost Cauldron as well, because the day continued, okay? So I'm gonna quickly pop that to one side. I do apologise. I promise I will get to that in a moment. But yeah, after we visited the shop and we left, we were starving, hungry. So we thought, right, okay, we need to go now and find somewhere to have food. So we ended up going, I can't remember what it was called actually. That's annoying, because it was a really lovely little place. It was like a pub. It wasn't too far away. It was a good like 10-minute walk, I think, from the Lost Cauldron. But it was this really lovely pub. It looked really posh. When we actually went in, we were like, oh, I don't know if we belong here. This is looking a little bit posh. But when we got to the menus and stuff were being put in front of us, we looked at the menu, we're like, okay, the prices are very reasonable. It's not overly expensive. The portion sizes I could see coming out to other customers, I was like, okay, they are feeding you in here. So it was all very reasonable. So we're like, right, okay, let's order some food. I had sausage and mash, which was glorious. And my husband had, I believe he had a mixed grill. From what I can remember, he had a mixed grill. Yes, he did. I'm sure he did. So yeah, food was absolutely divine. So we fueled up a little bit on that. And then I said to Anthony that I wanted to go antique shopping because there were so many little antique shops. And I was like, you know what? I've never done antique shopping before. Let's go and do some antique shopping. Just have a bit of a nosy. We're not going to buy anything. I'd already gone over budget in the Lost Cauldron, so didn't really have any money left. But I was like, I just want to have a bit of a nosy to see what kind of like gems we can find. So we wandered around a few. We found some really lovely little bits and bobs. We found some stuff that kind of triggered memories from childhood stuff. It was just really lovely to like see all those different things. We did also find like a little miniature Pinocchio figurine, which was too adorable. He was really, really sweet, bless him. And we also did find something that was like the freakiest thing I've ever seen in actual real life. And it was a taxidermy fox head on like a plaque. This thing was creepy, okay? I couldn't help take a photo of it because it was interesting as well as it was creepy. And my daughter is obsessed with foxes. And I thought, I can't let her see this picture. But yeah, I was just like, right, okay, I just need to document this moment because it's freaky, and I was kind of oddly entranced by it, but at the same time, it was freaky, so yeah. But yeah, we had a good nosy around some of the antique shops that were around, and then we headed for Punnydukes. I have never been to Punnydukes before. I didn't know exactly where Punnydukes was, and like I said earlier on, I was really shocked to find out that Punnydukes was in the same town as the Lost Cauldron. So I was super excited and couldn't wait to head over to Punnydukes. So stupidly, I didn't take a photo of the like front of the shop, but I did take a photo of the Ford Anglia that sits outside. That is so cool. It looks really funky sitting outside. It's got loads of stickers all over it as well, which was really funny. But yeah, we had a really good nosy around Punnydukes. Again, I didn't buy anything, which now I'm sad about. But again, I'd already kind of gone over budget in the Lost Cauldron, and I couldn't really justify spending more money again because, yeah, at the time, I just couldn't. But I hope that in the future, like fairly soon future as well, that I get to go back to both the Lost Cauldron and Punnydukes and spend money in both shops because it needs to happen. So yeah, overall, the day was amazing. By the time me and my husband got back to the hotel, we were absolutely shattered. We'd gotten up really early. The day was a long one, even though it didn't feel as long as it should have done, I suppose, but it was a long day, and we were absolutely like beside ourselves tired by the time we got back to the hotel room. So we had a good like couple of hours of just chilling in bed. We watched a film in bed. We had a couple of snacks and things like that as well. And it was just nice to just chill and like let the day wash over us. And then we went out for dinner later on in the evening and had some drinks and things like that before driving home on the Sunday. So yeah, overall, the day was amazing, really, really cool. It was so lovely meeting Cherry and Leslie and the rest of the team. They were all so lovely and like chatty. And like I said, I can't imagine how many people Cherry had to talk to that day. It would have been intensely crazy. But yeah, she was super smiley, super friendly, really chatty still. And yeah, just wow, the shop is incredible. If you haven't been already and you are able to go, it is 1000% worth it. There is so much to see in that shop. There are so many beautiful items that you can buy. There's a range of like different prices as well. So there's something that everyone could afford at some point. And yeah, it was just such a magical shop. The Cherry and the team have done an absolutely amazing job. They should be so proud of themselves. And it's just another way now to spread magic throughout the community a little bit more. And it felt really good to finally be able to go along and meet Cherry and meet Leslie and meet the rest of the team and support them as well, because I think for the last 6 months they've been doing everything to kind of lead up to this moment. And then for myself and for other people that had turned up on that day to go and show their support in the hundreds like they did must have just been the best feeling in the world. So yeah, I was really, really thrilled to be a part of that day. But of course, you guys are probably dying at this moment to see what I bought. So I will now go through finally what I bought at the Lost Cauldron. So the first thing I'm going to reach for is the thing that's on top. Now this was something that I spotted whilst watching Cherry's like series of her creating the shop and then stocking the shop and things like that. I spotted this in her video and she talked about it a little bit, and I knew that I had to have one, and I made a beeline for them as soon as I could. So it is, I'll show you the box first of all. It is this little cauldron mug. So it says glass double-walled cauldron mug, and it's completely like just see-through glass. It's so pretty though. So here it is. It's the first time I've actually got it out in the flesh as well. This has been safely in its box since the day we bought it. But look how pretty that is. So it's got a double wall. So inside here is where obviously your liquid would be. And then there's another like layer of glass around it. So it keeps whatever liquid you have inside hot or cold, depending on the situation. But I just thought these were so pretty. I think, is it the price? Yeah, the price is on here. So this was $14.99, which is not unreasonable at all. It's a really, really good price for what it is. It's got little feeties as well, which I thought was adorable. And yeah, I think this is a really good sized mug for like your cups of tea, your hot chocolates, things like that. I was just obsessed and I knew I had to have one of these. As soon as I'm done filming, actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make myself a nice cup of tea in the new mug. Okay, the next thing I got, was a pin. So this one was too cute. I couldn't leave it behind. And I think they had a couple different like colour variations of this one from what I remember. Because I think I had like a pinky one in my hand and then spotted this one, which was a little bit more blue toned, and decided to go for this one instead. So this is a little flying key pin. It's got a double back on the front there. It was £12.99. But look how beautiful that is. All the little details and stuff. There's like glittery in some parts of the wings. Like I said, there is pink and yellow in this one as well, but it's definitely got more blue like in the top there and the top of the wings, whereas the other one had more pink here in the top of the wings as well. So I just thought this one was just a little bit more me. I like blue. So yeah, this was really, really pretty. Couldn't resist this one at all, so I had to buy that. Next up in my bag of goodies, let's see. Oh, we've got another pin. So this one is a Ravenclaw pin. How beautiful is this one? So you can see here, we've got this Ravenclaw banner, we've got an eagle, and we've got the diadem, and then we've got the Ravenclaw colours down here as well. This one was $9.99. For the size of this pin, $9.99 is an amazing price. Like that is such a good price for this size of pin. And again, there's some glitter in the banner there. This is just beautiful. I'm obsessed with this pin. It's gorgeous. Next up in my bag of goodies, I got myself a candle. Again, I was obsessed with all the candles. There were one or two that I wasn't as much of a fan of, but when I smelled this one, I knew this one was like the best one of the bunch because wow. And you'd think I would have gone for the house ones because they smelled really, really good too. They had all 4 houses, like themed candles, and they all smelled differently. But yeah, over this one and the Ravenclaw smelling one, as much as that smelled nice, this one smelled nicer. So I had to buy this one. So I got the Pickled Mandrake candle. Amber and sweet orange is a captivating fragrance that blends the rich warmth of amber with the vibrant zest of sweet orange. Oh my god, it sounds amazing and it smells even better. So as you can see, we've got some beautiful gold foiling here. It says the Lost Cauldron at the top and then has all the information down here as well. And it says Herbology Candle Collection. And it's in this really beautiful like black matte case. And then you take the lid off and the candle is inside. So you can tip the candle out. So you can keep that, which I thought was really lovely. And then here is the actual candle. So it's got the same graphic on the box as it does on the actual candle. And then we've got this lovely like swirly detail here. Oh my god, this one smells so pretty. Oh, I'm burning this one tonight. I don't even care. This is absolutely beautiful. It smells so fruity and fresh. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's such a lovely smelling candle. I was obsessed with this one. I smelt it and knew I had to take this one home with me. So yeah, this was the candle. These, I can't remember how much these were and there's no price tag on here. I think this was about £20. I think it was $19.99. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that because I can't remember. I'm just trying to fish it off the top of my head. But yeah, I think this was $19.99. So yeah, I think you could get 2 candles for so much as well. So I can't remember exactly how much it was, but yeah. Smell it one more time before I pop it at one side because it smells glorious. Beautiful candle. Okay, we still have more people, okay? We are still going. Okay, ooh, this item was fun. Let me get this one out. So in this one, I've got a little bit of tissue wrapped around this one. This is a very cute item. Again, can't wait to use this. I bought soap. How cute is this? So this is Wild Rose, rose clay and coconut milk handcrafted soap with rose geranium, ylang ylang and patchouli. I could be wrong on that one, but yeah, this was $7.99 and we've got this really lovely handcrafted soap with a lovely swirl on the top. Again, it smells amazing. It smells so good. And again, I just couldn't resist it. It was sat on the shelf and I was like, oh my god, soap? I wasn't expecting to see soap today, but this was really cute. So it caught my eye and when I smelled it, I thought it smelled really lovely. And yeah, for $7.99, I couldn't leave it there. I thought, I'm coming home with that. Okay, we're diving in again, guys. Okay, so this was the pin that was the exclusive pin. So I'll put that to one side for now. Okay, I think this is the last thing in here. Let me just quickly double check. Oh, no, I'm lying. Okay, next item then is this cute little pen. This was an impulse buy. I thought it was adorable and thought, you know what, I want a little pen. So this is a little time turner pen. This was $5.99, and like I said, then we've got the lovely little time turner detail on the top. Why won't that focus? There we go. Lovely time turner detail on the top, and it's a twisty pen, so you can twist it on and off. And yeah, I thought, you know what, I can have my little pen to do all my magical writing with, and I can think about my day at the Lost Cauldron whilst I'm doing it. So happy days. Okay, so this next item was something that I spotted on the shelf, and it was literally right behind one of the workers was stood right by the door, and it was right behind her. So I was like, I'm so sorry, can I just squeezy past you and go have a look at that? She's like, of course you can, off you go. So I was like, oh, thank you so much. But yeah, this was a wax seal set, which was absolutely beautiful. They did have one that was on the shelf that was displayed open so you could see it, which was what caught my eye. And inside, we've got this beautiful wax seal set, which is just so pretty. I mean, look at this. We've got this little gold pen here for when obviously you've done the stamp and you're you want to like fill in the details. So you use that to fill in the little details. Then we've got two stamp heads here as well as this one, and it's like holder, if you will. We've got a little candle down here, the little spoon that it comes with, and then two sets of candle wax. So this one is like whites, purples and blues, which I thought was really cute. And then this one is reds, golds and silvers. So you can see that one there. There's not many red pieces in here. There's more gold and silver, but there are a few little red pieces scattered about. Obviously then like the little dripping spoon that you need. I have one of these, but mine doesn't have the little poury spout. See how we've got like a little poury spout? Mine doesn't have that. So I figured this one would be better for using to pour onto things. So that's very much a happy day for me. Then we've got a little tea light as well, which is cute. And then these ones, I didn't actually realise until after I bought them when I proper went home and had a look, but these are actually space themed, which I thought was quite cute. So you've got like a little rocket there with some like smoke coming off the engine parts. Then we've got one that's like a little planet, which I thought was really cute. And then we've got this one, which obviously has the little holder with it as well, which has also got a space theme. You can just see like a galaxy or something in the middle there. Again, it won't focus. There we go. And then this one has like this really ornate star detail, which I thought was really pretty. Yeah, I just thought this was absolutely gorgeous. I love the little case that it came in as well. The fact that you can swap out the heads as well, I thought was a really lovely touch. The little wax that comes with it as well was really cute. This was $14.99 for this set, and again I just thought that's really reasonable price for something of this kind of caliber. I thought it was really good, and the presentation box that it comes in as well I thought was really pretty. So yeah, I was very pleased with this purchase. Okay, and obviously the last thing that I got was my little free gift from Cherry and the rest of the team, which was the Lost Cauldron pin. So this is the exclusive pin, and it does even say at the bottom, grand opening pin, so you can just see it right there. And this was the gold potion that was exclusive only for the first 500 people that came through the doors of the Lost Cauldron. So if you were one of the first 500 people, you would have got this pin. If sadly you were 501, you wouldn't have got one. But there are other versions of this pin in different colours that are available that you can buy. You just sadly won't be able to get hold of this one again. And I knew I had to have this one. It's really cute as well. I love the details on it. I think the backing card is really pretty as well. Obviously everyone that knows Cherry knows that she has a bit of an obsession with gold foiling, as do I, nifflers all around. But yeah, I think this is a really beautiful pin, and I was tempted actually to get another one in another colour, but by the time I'd already picked up these two pins, I was like, okay, I've got a pin obsession here, might have to come back for a different colour one another time. So another excuse to go back to the Lost Cauldron. So yeah, fingers crossed I will be able to do that again one day soon, and spend some more money, because there was just so much stuff that I had to leave behind that I was devastated about. And yeah, even my husband, who's not like the biggest, I mean, he likes Harry Potter, he comes to Harry Potter Studios with me sometimes, and he'll do things like this, like come to Cherry shop, but he's not like as mad about Harry Potter as I am. And he's not really all that mad about like witchy things as I am. But even he was wandering around the shop going, oh wow, that's really cool. Oh, I like that. Oh, that's really nice. Oh, I could do with one of these. I'm like, yeah, it's all great, isn't it? Let's come back and spend more money. So yeah, hopefully in the very near future we will return to the Lost Cauldron. But of course I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions about the video, about the haul. Have you been to the Lost Cauldron yourself? Did you meet Cherry? Did you meet Leslie? Did you meet any of the other members of the team? I am really interested to find out, so leave me a comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Once again guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please do give it a magical thumbs up for me so that I know, and don't forget as well, if you haven't done already, to please hit the subscribe button to become part of my little magic community, and turn notification bells on as well to be notified every time I upload a video, and I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye you guys. I'm so sorry if I was like screaming things at this camera today. I'm so excited. I haven't talked an awful lot about this haul in this video just yet, and I'm all over the shop, so apologies for spewing stuff at you. I have ADHD.